power hour. LSU. Boom!
All night long. Yes.
Let's freaking go! A celebratory day. You, as an LSU Tiger Tackle football fan, I don't care who you are watching this right now or listening to this on any podcast platform, you have had a week, right? You have not had a week. You've had a week, right? It seems like it was a gazillion years ago that Mike Denbrock decided to go to Notre Dame for whatever reason. But you get Bo Davis today. You get Blake Baker a few days ago. You then get Bryce Underwood. You then also had Garrett Nussmeier absolutely lighted up in the bowl game. And you get the biggest story of them all. You get the biggest story of them all. If you are a real LSU fan, you know you are conflicted that Nick Saban has decided to hang up the whistle. So the poll question is up. Which story excites you more? Nick Saban retiring, Bo Davis, of course, making his way to Baton Rouge. I'm going to start with Bo Davis. This was a situation where LSU has money, right? There has always been this narrative that LSU just doesn't have the cash. They don't have the money that the Texas and the Texas A&Ms have with their collectives. And there might be some truth to that. It is impossible to know who has the absolute biggest collective because there is no cap. There's, in theory, an infinite amount of money that anybody could donate at any time. But the truth here is LSU has always had money. All right. They have. They have just chose to spend it this offseason on coaches instead of going after the absolute biggest names, free agents, if you will, in the transfer portal. I'm fine with that. But the Bo Davis hire confirms that LSU's got money. Okay. That money isn't really an object for LSU. And it could just be that Brian Kelly and the powers that be want to spend money on assets like coaches because coaches, of course, they can leave, but coaches have an impact on all players, right, that are in their position group or their side of the football. So LSU gets Bo Davis. He made $1 million a year at Texas. $1 million. Now, just to let you know that a lot of defensive line coaches get $500K a year. Bo Davis got doubled that, okay? He was making more at Texas as a head coach than some non-Power 5 head coaches make as head coaches. And this was Bo Davis, as a defensive line coach. LSU paid up, and they got him. $1.2 million a year plus. That is absolutely ridiculous for a defensive line coach. And that is a good thing because that lets you know LSU has resources. This is one of the most expensive coaching staffs in the country. Brian Kelly, of course, makes $10 million a year. Cortez Hankton gets paid a lot of money for a receivers coach and passing game coordinator. Obviously, Brad Davis made a lot of money. $875K a year is a lot for a non-coordinator. And then, of course, Frank Wilson makes north of $900K a year. That this is going to be the most expensive coaching staff probably in the sport going into next year because LSU still has to go get a defensive backs coach. So I always thought that Bo Davis wasn't actually going to make the move because I didn't think a defensive line coach would ever get paid this amount of money, and he is getting this amount. I know Larry Johnson at Ohio State makes that, and Bo Davis obviously deserves to make that because Texas had the best defensive line in the Big 12 this year. They had the best defensive tackle duo, Murphy and Sweat, up the middle. And that hard-nosed, really good defensive tackle play is desperately needed at LSU. So big day to get Bo Davis back home, of course, as an all-SEC level player. Now, as we always do, We welcome in TOV, Jared, Sam, BT's in here. We got a bunch of PHL legends in here. Y'all, this has been the best month ever for our channel. The key is to keep watching during the offseason. I know it's going to die down, but we are killing it recently. And yes, there's been a lot of news, but even compared to news cycles, we're killing it. And it's thanks to you guys, each and every one of you. I really appreciate that. I do want to discuss Nick Saban retiring. I understand as LSU fans, he has caused us more pain than pleasure. Okay. He has obviously beat us into a pulp. 2010, we beat him. 2011, we beat him. 2019, we beat him. 2022, we beat him. Most of those other games, he has beaten us. Obviously, 07, we got him in Tuscaloosa. I cannot tell you how much pain this man has caused our program. Just year after year, because especially with how the playoff worked, the Alabama game was LSU season, and we lost that game a lot and were beat down quite a bit. A lot of close games mixed in there as well. So I understand that a lot of us are very excited that Nick Saban has retired, and that obviously is a really good thing for LSU. There's no other way around it. When the greatest coach to ever coach, who was still coaching at a high level, and I could even take it one step further, that this was one of his top 3 coaching jobs this past season, this is a good day for LSU football. But let's not just talk about him being fired being good for LSU football. LSU football is LSU football because of Nick and Terry Saban. And that's the bottom line. If they never come here, do we ever win that first national championship? Do we ever really get the ball rolling? Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Okay. It's tough to say. We'll never really know. It seemed elementary that with all the talent that Louisiana produced, that LSU didn't have more success before Nick got here. But he built the infrastructure all the way down to West Campus Apartments. Nick built this program and won a national championship. And you could feel some way about Nick. I know a lot of you, if somebody lies to you one time and breaks your heart, you never go back again. A lot of you are like that. That's perfectly fine. You could feel that way if you want. What I would tell you, though, is Arkansas, South Carolina, Kentucky, there are a gazillion programs that would trade one national championship, even if it meant their beloved coaching leaving the next season. There are so many people that would do whatever for one national championship, and Nick brought LSU one national championship. And you can argue was a key piece to the others that we have won. Nick deserves a lot of credit for where we are right now. All right. We are so freaking grateful for him. And also, F you, Saban. Where is a good Ed Orgeron? Roll Tide. What? F you. But he's a GOAT. Wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully it's not health related, whether it's him or anyone in his family. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. Now, next thing I'd get into is Nick Saban today. A couple of days after Alabama's semifinal loss, Nick Saban was in his office working. Today, he was on an SEC head coaches call, and he interviewed coaches for open staff positions both yesterday and this morning. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Also, Pete Carroll got fired. Pete Carroll's career is done, and he's also one of the best coaches of the modern era. Man, very bizarre. To put it lightly, I was very shocked that Nick Saban made this decision. It makes me do think there's something. I don't know. Did he just decide within an hour that, hey, I'm done interviewing these coaches. I don't want to do this again. And look, he's had to replace more. He's had to replace more assistants than basically anyone. Okay. Now, this opens up a huge opportunity for Brian Kelly. Okay. Now that Nick is out, Alabama still could be a permanent opponent. The bottom line is no Nick makes Brian Kelly's life a lot easier. It just does. All right. Odds on the next Alabama head coach per Colin at the Action Network. Dan Lanning leads plus 300, Dabo plus 400, Lane Kiffin plus 500, DeBoer and Deion Sanders plus 600. I'm down for Kalen DeBoer if I was Alabama. Deion, would Alabama do that? I doubt that. This would be the guy, and we did a live stream on Power Hour SEC when this news broke. Mike Norvell is very interesting to me. D'Amico Ryans, who played at Alabama, very interesting as well. Clinton Dix plus 7,500. Sure. Adam Gase. Why did Adam Gase get odds? Greg McElroy got odds. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So these are your best odds right here for the next coach. Okay? So, as we always do, I've said what I've said. Super Chat is wide open today. All right? We almost got to a hundo last night. If we get to a hundo tonight, I am throwing in a Patrick Peterson card. This card, someone wanted a few weeks ago, never sent me their address, so we're going to put it back up on the market. One of my favorite Patrick Peterson cards, and I'm also going to send you a Craig Stelz autograph card, okay? Because we still got to get a DB coach. All right? And you know what both of these two have in common? They were not coached by Corey Raymond, okay? Just for those that are out there, DBU existed before Corey Raymond. I know it's a foreign concept to some of you watching, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Corey. I think that's the big question that a lot of you want to know is Corey Raymond going to be the next DB coach at LSU? He wants it. I mean, he's changed his Twitter bio to DBU. I'm open to a return, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Jared, thank you for the super. Okay. Now Saban is just retiring. Could he consult for, a random playoff game? Sure. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, Nick Saban used to be his former employer. Steve, thank you for the super. I appreciate all your insightful comments. Next thing, and I do need to get to this in the middle of all of this news. Okay. Logan Diggs to Ole Miss. All right, he committed to Ole Miss within the hour or so. I still don't know what happened here. It is a very strange situation, but let's put this in the memory bank that when you have 8 scholarship running backs, the likelihood that everyone is happy is very little. Okay? I truly do believe that Logan Diggs was our best back this season. I also don't believe it's that big of a loss. And he also got injured in the bowl game. I hope he's okay. But Logan Diggs to Ole Miss, he tweeted that out. But that's not what you guys want to talk about. I'm gonna go with what the chat wants to say. Okay, so here's Steve Perez. Who can we still get on the defensive line? Well, that's the thing. Maybe there is an open group of candidates, transfer portal guys, that open themselves up. I mean, maybe could there be more players? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, when it comes to defensive lineman recruits that are out there, here were 5 names that were texted to me. Okay. Jamari Caldwell out of Houston, Kendi Charles out of Liberty, Tunmise Adili out of Michigan State, Quindario Lee out of Central Michigan, and Will Norman, I remember him, played at IMG, out of Florida. Okay, those are some defensive line names. This is one I've always said about the portal. I don't really like to watch highlights of guys in the portal that have no connection to LSU. Now, if I hear that a guy is being recruited by LSU or get offered by LSU or he's about to commit to LSU, then I'll start watching. But honestly, I've still been watching a lot of Bryce Underwood lately. But those are some names for you, Steve. Maybe some of those names have committed it. Okay. Now, Chance says, too bad we couldn't trade Logan for Quinshawn. True, but the good thing, Chance, is Judkins transferred to Ohio State. He can't hurt us anymore. Caleb Downs on the phone. I would not be shocked if he's playing for Georgia next year, Caleb Downs. Alabama's already had a 5-star receiver decommit. So, there you go. But when it comes to the Alabama job, all right, when it comes to the Alabama job, Mike Norvell is my dark horse. It would make a lot of sense. Let's go to the dream team. Logan was really good, but to me, he wasn't really that good playing against the big SEC schools. Disagreement. Obviously, he had a really good game versus Ole Miss. He had a really good game versus Missouri. And those 2 schools won 11 games. So, one thing I'll say about Logan is when it comes to production, when it comes to getting an elite amount of touches, it's hard to do that with Jaden Daniels as your quarterback. And yes, I understand a lot of you are frustrated with our running back touch distribution. But my response to that would be, well, our offense was an all-time great offense. What would you want to do differently than what we did already this year? Jaden became so dominant as a runner and as a thrower, it almost got to the point where running the football and handing it off to a running back was redundant and totally suboptimal. And, after Logan kind of got banged up in the middle of the season, it just kind of became the Jaden Daniels show. We didn't really have much of a running game from the running back position. So, there you go. The great wants Roydell Williams to LSU. Cliff is tired of inside zone. We are a very heavy inside zone team. But Steve, if you think or see someone in the portal that tickles your fancy, feel free to send me an email, powerhourlsu@gmail.com, or if there's Twitter or Instagram, if you got that, at PowerHourLSU. Okay. Saban for DB coach. That would be hilarious, Zach. The rumor with Nick was Terry always preferred Baton Rouge over Tuscaloosa. Okay. Nino wants to look at Desmond Ricks, the 5-star corner who was rumored to go to LSU last year, but he picked Alabama. And within the hour, we had gotten Denver Harris or something like that. And neither one of them was really any good this season. Now, Desmond Ricks is just a true freshman. So he might be entering his prime year. So we'll see. When that portal opens on April 15th. Can Bama players ask for release from LOI? Yes. They have 30 days to enter the portal, and I think that applies for everyone on the team, even if you just sign your LOI. Okay. Yeah, the weird thing about this, Nick Saban, this is per the Tuscaloosa News. Okay. So Nick Saban was working until the very end. He was interviewing candidates for vacancies this morning. Then later in the day, he told his players he was retiring. So why the sudden change? Why today? Did it just hit him? What did I wonder how it feels to be the coach that was being interviewed for a vacancy, for a DC vacancy. It's crazy. Austin P says nobody will match the accomplishments. Okay. Jeff says Kendrick Law come home. Kendrick Law was a good player in Alabama. He wasn't elite by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd be open to it. I know there was rumors of him potentially being a DB. I mean, he was an athlete coming out, but he probably wants to play receiver. Okay. But like I said earlier, I hope it's not a health related thing. So whether it's him or someone else. Okay, Terry Saban released a statement. She didn't say anything specific other than a bunch of motivational stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy. What's up, Black Hood to you? What's up? Shout out to the wife D. How have I been? I've been excellent. It's been a great week. If you're an LSU Tiger fan. Exciting time. Excited about the Bo Davis hire. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Carter does this for us. Let's freaking go. BK made him retire. That was Jaden Daniels lining up Nick Saban twice in a row saying, hey, I don't know if I can handle it anymore. It is very interesting. The thing that's kind of crazy about this year's Alabama team, I truly do believe this was Nick Saban's worst team since 2010. Like, I do not think that team was that good. And they still were up by 7 with less than 5 minutes left to go in the game against the national champion. That just lets you know how good Nick was, right? The fact, I understand he has the best players. I get it. But the fact that he never had a disastrous season, okay, every season 2 losses or less since the 2010s, crazy. And he never really got blown out. Like Trevor Lawrence blew him out. 2019 LSU should have blown him out. He just never got blown out. Like he never just had bad games. It's crazy. Okay. Good to see Mark in here. Mark, you've been hiding from me. Can't wait to meet you one day, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm sure it gets exhausting having to hire new coaches every year. Okay. "17 years coached, 18 SEC losses." 18. Three 5-stars have already decommitted from Bama in the last 30 minutes. I saw Ryan Williams. Who are the other two? That is so interesting, man. Let's see. Let's see. God, it's still crazy. It's a where were you moment. Okay, Tyler. Don't forget, Tyler will be here on February 17th. I can't wait to see him at the Arklatex Memorabilia Card Show. We've done 3 different shows with them. This will be show number 4. And we'll have 4 LSU Tigers there. Gabriel Relaford, Tylen Singleton, Ahmad Bro, and Xavier Debo Atkins. Really excited about that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's free. Bring the kiddos. Family-friendly environment. Also, please, if you've not done so already, even if you don't plan on playing a game, go sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Carter. Get in one of the mitten drafts. If you draft the best team, guess what? You are winning $10,000 off a $3 draft, $25K off a $4 draft. Underdog Fantasy. UnderdogFantasy.com. Please, though, if you sign up, you got to use my promo code Carter to get the deposit match bonus up to $100. Yeah, if you put in 100, they'll give you 100. 11 Piece says NIL transfer portal is free agency. It is not like free agency. It is free agency, basically. Okay. Now, next thing I want to get into. All right, we touched on the Logan Diggs news. Okay. Obviously, we have got to get some defensive guys from out of the portal. I think when the final defensive hire is made is when you'll see more guys make their way to Baton Rouge. I doubt this is the end of their portal class. LSU obviously offered a receiver from Liberty, which I thought was very interesting, out of the portal. And we'll see what direction they go in next. All right. The Great says Dabo Swinney at Alabama. Let me get to this, right? I was going to say this for the very end, but since you bring it up now, who would be the best hire for Alabama from an LSU vantage point? Okay. I think Dan Lanning would do some good in Alabama. I think Lane Kiffin would kill it at Alabama. I think Lane is so special as a coach. One guy, though, that would be good for LSU if he were to go to Alabama would be Dabo Swinney. Okay? If Dabo Swinney were to go to Alabama, I'm not going to say Dabo's washed, but he's not as good as he once was, and he doesn't like the transfer portal. So if you don't like the transfer portal, well, what are you doing still coaching? And it's the future. There's no guardrails on it yet. So it's hard for me to not get excited about Dabo and Alabama. I think that's a really good thing if you're LSU. We go through a few more names that have been rumored for Alabama. Obviously, Urban Meyer would be really good for LSU. He is so washed. Deion Sanders, if Alabama actually went that route, I would actually just love to see it. I don't think he would do bad or good there. I would just love to see it. Mario Cristobal in Alabama would be something I would love to see. Butch Jones back at Alabama, that'd be something I would love to see from an LSU perspective. Tommy Rees at Alabama being the head coach, that's something I would love to see from an LSU perspective. Steve Sarkisian might low-key be a win if he were to go to Alabama, because that would weaken Texas, and maybe Texas goes into a spiral. But I think obviously he's a good coach. I think he would do really well at Alabama. Okay. James Guillory says Saban or Coach O should be the next coach in Alabama. Pete Carmichael would be a disaster. Huh? Tari, what's good, man? Switched up from the Darth Vader. Bill Belichick, the next coach at Alabama. Okay. Let's see. What's up, Greg? Good to see you. I know Greg, he likes the 6 p.m. live streams because he's able to listen to me while he gets his workout in. Got to get those curls in, bro. Okay. Yeah, Darian, I doubt that that's what happened. I would not like to think that I am that powerful to do something like that, but I don't think that's what happened. Okay. And I won't get back into that spiral because that was a crazy, crazy, crazy day. Johnny says, would Brian Kelly take the Alabama job? No. Jimbo Fisher would be a disaster, obviously. But I doubt that's where they go. Jimbo is so rich right now. Bob Stoops. Jared says he doesn't care who Alabama hires because they're not going to be as close to Nick Saban's level. Sway says, I'm putting my money on Kalen DeBoer. Caleb DeBoer. Doubt it. Not a big enough name. And Pacific Northwest, no big program experience. Washington's a good program. It's not an A-list program. So I don't think that would happen. That would be one, though, that I would fear. I think Kalen DeBoer is elite. I do. I think he's a freaking elite. You don't want to follow the man. You want to follow the man that follows the man. Okay. Mitt Romney. That's crazy. Well, you've seen a lot of politicians. You've seen a lot of football coaches get into politics and football players. Why can't a politician get into coaching? I can see it. You can see it. Now, next thing. And I'll be brief during this. Okay. Now, I don't know why this has happened. It always happens. For some reason, in the media business, people get hired and fired towards the beginning and end of the year more than any other time, like December and early January. So, for all my buddies out there, media buddies, that went separate ways recently, it's crazy. It is so hard to make it in this business. So unfreaking believably hard. And I respect it. I respect my friends that have done this, and they didn't do this. They did like, WAFB or like local stuff. I don't really think that they've done the YouTube thing, but it's wild, man. It's wild how many of my friends have gotten out of it, and they're like happy. I'm happy doing this, but then again, I never had to lug around a 50-pound camera and a tripod and all of it. I did at one point, but it sucks, man. It sucks seeing people have that happen, man. Mike Vrabel would be crazy. Okay. Now, type Y for yes, type in for no. You think it is better for LSU if Lane Kiffin goes to Alabama? Type Y for yes, type in for no. You think it's better for LSU because it would weaken Ole Miss and it could strengthen Alabama. Okay. I'm a big Shane Beamer fan. That's honestly one cheaper move I could make. Branson, what's good, man? I was thinking about you earlier today. Kyle, what's up, man? Good to see you. So y'all think Lane would crush it at Alabama? All right. In the chat right now, who is the one coach you fear the most taking this job? In the chat right now, let me know. Who is the one coach that you fear? Okay. So Lane concerns you the most. Luke is concerned with Dion. I wouldn't be too concerned about Dion because He's just not a great, like, actual football coach yet. Now, he's a great recruiter. He's a great roster builder. He obviously generates a lot of interest. But as a coach, he was between the headsets. He made some brutal decisions. And I like Deion. I got some Deion shades over here. Dan Lanning concerns you the most. PJ Fleck would concern you the most, Jess. Nick Saban loved boats, and PJ Fleck rows a boat, you know? Chris says Urban Meyer. I'm telling you, man, I don't think people understand, like, how cooked Urban is. Zach says Mike Norvell concerns you the most. If I was Alabama, that would be the direction I would go. Oh, Jim Harbaugh. Now, that would concern me, right? But that's not happening, obviously. Now, here's what we're going to do. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to answer as many questions as we possibly can. This is a 1 hour, 6 p.m. live stream. Tomorrow night, we will start a little bit later than normal. I am calling a college basketball game tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for that. All right. It'll be around 8:30. Okay. So if you want to listen, I'll post a link in our Discord. Pretty pumped up about it. Our first call of the new year. I'm putting in some extra work on my play-by-play work. Okay. If I'm Bama, I want John Harbaugh. Now, in what world would that make sense? Okay. Why would they do that? And as Robert points out, please like the video, share the video. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share. Okay. Lane, because he pulls in 5-star recruits and women. Why would him pulling women concern you? And he is dating someone. He's dating someone younger than me, actually. I wasn't familiar with your game, Lane. But I think Lane Kiffin is special. I think he would do really big things at Alabama. I do. Okay. Now, we get to here. Okay. Shout out to Chris Lowe with the scoop. The biggest scoop. Okay. It's official. Six natties in 17 years. That's so wild, bro. It's still crazy. Brian Daboll would actually make some sense. That would concern me. But I think he's locked in with the Giants. We would all jump off a cliff if Carter went to Bama with this boy, Lane Kiffin. Look. Was I contacted about the defensive line coaching position before they settle for Bo? I know you're joking, but I do get interesting calls and texts about coaching and all that. If any Power 5 job were to open and they would offer me a coaching position or an analyst position, I would probably take it just to see what it's like. Now, of course, I would still want to do this. I don't know if they would allow that. It would just depend on the job and where it is. But yeah, I'm open. Offense or defensive analyst. I just love watching football. Let's go to Carlton. I think Warren Sapp would have been a better hire than Bo Davis. What are my thoughts? Okay. And Carlton, I think I've seen you in here before. That is probably the wrongest take and question I think I've heard. So no disrespect to you. But, of course, Warren Sapp, one of the best defensive linemen of all time. As a young defensive tackle, I watched quite a bit of Warren Sapp growing up. And I saw Warren Sapp actually a year and a half ago, and he kind of shunned me. He didn't really want to talk. And I just wanted to tell him how much I respected him. And that's okay. I would love to have Warren on this channel. As he is, one of the best defensive tackles to ever breathe. He's obviously coaching at Colorado now. I don't think he's ever coached. And you also have all the extra baggage with Warren Sapp. He has no ties to LSU at all. Okay? So why? Why would you do it? Just for a name. Okay? So, I think that would be the near equivalent of me saying, well, you know what, I like Joe Sloan, but, I'd want Tom Brady to call our plays next year. And he'd probably be pretty good at it. And Warren Sapp would probably be a pretty good defensive line coach at LSU. But he wouldn't be better than a guy who's been doing it at its highest level for years now. But Carlton, I appreciate it. Hey, look, I'm an open book when it comes to questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question, if you ask me. I take that back. What would be the lowest level COA coaching job I would take? I don't know. I guess I'd be open to a high school job. I've always been interested. I shared last week that a play caller, a professional play caller, visited me last week. The same day Matt House actually got the can. Actually, the day-ish before Matt House got the can. And, he showed me his playbook, all the different calls and all that stuff. I find it so interesting. And even though I play defense, I'd probably prefer to be on the offensive side of the ball. But, there's still so much stuff that is just way over my football knowledge. It is crazy. So, it would take a year or two to get better. Would I take Tony Romo as an offensive coordinator? I don't think Tony Romo would take Tony Romo as an offensive coordinator because he makes $15 million a year calling football games. $15 million a year to call games. Okay? To say that is an absurd amount of money is an understatement. Okay? That's 15 Bo Davis contracts are yearly contracts. Okay. No doubt, Rick. Welcome to the channel. Loving the bikes, loving the background here, man. Look at you. You're right about that. He opened the eyes of greatness. We'll take a few more here. Once again, if you super chat, we'll keep going all night. I don't care. I'll go until 8 or 9 p.m. My good buddy Kenley's over here. She and Haley are cooking up something special tonight. It's going down. Got my dog over here. But forget them. I can care less about them. It is you that matters to me. It is you that provide for my family. It is you that I look forward to speaking almost every single day of the week. Okay. Monster's back in here. What's good, bro? Does Kelly try to get Tommy Reese? Leighton, it's probably flashed in his mind at the very least, right? Because Tommy owes his career to BK, and Brian is a big fan of Tommy. I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with Joe Sloan being our OC. Okay. Paris. Yes, we do a Wednesday night early stream for our East Coast viewers. Paris, of course. Our late streams, our normal stream start at 9:15. So on Wednesday night, I start a 6 p.m. stream for people on the East Coast. And look, I might make 6 p.m. my permanent time. I love 6 p.m. because it just I'm able to end earlier and go to bed earlier. It's hard for me to go to bed right after a live stream. Chris, what's good? Huge day for LSU. The SEC is ours. Everybody, welcome Chris Caples or Caplis? Is it Caplis? Welcome, Chris. Good to see you. And the significant other. We welcome everybody to PHL. Chance. So Oklahoma and Texas will never play Saban in the SEC. It's true. Sibley said, just had some crab, shrimp, corn, and potatoes, all in a great Cajun sauce. Now, did you do this yourself, Sibs, or was it somebody else? I'm just enjoying life right now. I'm on cloud frickin' 9. Steve says repping LSU in the ATL. Tell Jermaine Dupree I said hello. And we'll see you at Magic City tonight for their wings. I've got to go to Magic City and get some of their wings. Okay. Let's go to Branson Cat. How much money are they going to offer Kirby? Obviously, he won't take it, but what will they offer? Man, I don't know. It would have to be 15 million or more. Perry says, I'm back. Let's go. Let's go, Paris, with the super chat. Patty. Always love it. The ladies of PHL. Always holding it down for us. We have some that chat a lot, like Paris and LA Mom, who's been driving today, Danny Girl. We also have some that just float in the background. Shout out to my homie Jules. Jules is my homie. She won the Angel Reese card earlier this year. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Duke must not be playing time. Paris is the biggest Duke fan. I know. I got to see Duke play in person earlier this year. It's a lot of fun. So, Paris, if you have a topic, we'll go straight to it right here at the end. We're doing Takis and hot corn tonight. Hey, just text me that dinner's ready. No, Y'all want me to go live? I could put it on my phone, and we could do a live chat while I eat. Anytime anybody mentions Atlanta, I immediately start thinking Jermaine Dupri. Welcome to Atlanta, where them players play, and we ride on them things like every day. Who are you? What a freaking week, dude. This board just doesn't make any sense, bro. Mm. How many Alabama players jump in the portal? So this is why I think this is going to be a slow trickle. Because just understanding this timeline, which is crazy, is if he was interviewing coaches yesterday and this morning, and then he tells the players this afternoon, I'm retiring. That's wild. That is wild. I honestly, like, sometimes I think people think it is like a gradual buildup. And maybe Nick was thinking about it. Maybe he was just tired and fed up of everything that's going on with college football. But the fact that it was so sudden makes players think, well, I do have 30 days to get in the portal or not. Let me see what they are going to do. Okay. I just don't. I just don't know. I just don't know. Let's go to Charlie, dropping some XRP. I love me some XRP, baby. To the moon. Don't mess with the QB. Keep Sloan. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I don't think it's just fine. I just think that's the easiest choice. This is where doing the absolute simplest thing is the best thing, right? Look, Joe called a really good game versus Wisconsin, but I also think Garrett was so incredible in that game. It really was astonishing, some of the throws he made, which is why you need to go sign up for Patreon. TJ's a patron. You sign up for Patreon. Guess what? You get my Garrett Nussmeier all 22 versus Wisconsin preview. And TJ, of course, is someone who has supported us quite a bit. I'm so glad he's back. And I appreciate you big time. See, what's your favorite game from this year? Also, they said, of course, Saban retires a year. They discontinued Dodge Chargers. Oh, man. Every single Alabama player had the Dodge Charger. Every single one. Okay. I don't understand the appeal of that car in particular. And I'm fine with Dodge products. I am fine. I just have I don't know, cars have just never really got me going. Like, I have a little Toyota Camry. I freaking love it. I get down in the cam. Let's go. What was my favorite game from this season? That's a very sharp, astute question. Now, of course, I should say when LSU beat Arkansas because I had my absolutely wonderful wife next to me and Tiger Stadium. But my favorite game was the Florida game. It was a night game. I was able to go to the game with my cousin, and that was my favorite game of the season. Also got to go to the Texas A&M game with a guy who I call a really good friend now. His name is Kevin. He's a big PHL supporter. That was also fun. So I would say the 3 games that I went to, it's always so much fun to get that in-game Tiger Stadium experience. But I do think the most compelling game was obviously Alabama until the injury. But the most compelling game was Ole Miss, even though we lost. Okay. 30 MPGs? Hey, Bubs.
Dinner's ready. Do you want to go ahead and eat?
Oh, is it talkie time?
Yeah.
It's talkie time.
And your beer's in the freeze. Everything's ready to go. You want me to go ahead and make your plate?
I'm still alive.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and eat.
Are you gonna eat without me?
Yeah.
Kiki, y'all gonna eat without me? Thank you. Just wait. Just wait. Wait.
If you can, we'll go ahead and eat, and you can do your live, Bubba. Y'all are having a good time.
Well, Nick's retired.
Okay, love you. Bye.
They're eating without me. I am built different. I'm built different. Not many people would go longer on the live stream when an absolutely beautiful angel says, hey, not only Takis are ready, not only is a hot corn ready, the beer is in the freezer. Tell him, Gorilla. Seal, that's good. You've been supporting us for a while, man. Good to see you back. A lot of people are just creeping back. I see you at the end of the season, and then you go dipsy doodle and whatever y'all do in your own life, and you forget about me. Here's the thing. I need this same energy in all our live streams. I don't care if there is a big breaking news story. I need you here. I need rumps in seats watching the best live stream experience a human being can have. Are they coming after me? Where did this rumor start? I guess this rumor is news to me. I don't think that. Yeah, so what our other friends here, Kinkin. And Kinkin's my homie too, love her. Been out of the country spreading the good word. Okay. Seal decided to fly to Argentina to let everyone know there that Nick Saban is retired. I'm kidding. I know you're probably spreading the good word. What if Seal actually did that? He was like, yeah, I decided to fly. Oh, where'd you fly to? I'm in Amsterdam. Why'd you go there? To celebrate Nick Saban. I could see one of y'all flying to Amsterdam to light a big old bowl up. All good things come to an end. It's true. Like freaking Breaking Bad had to come to an end. See, they were smart. They ended on top. And don't give me this nonsense that Better Call Saul was better than Breaking Bad. Please go jump into an erupting volcano full of electric eels if you think Better Call Saul was better. I only watched the first season of Better Call Saul to be fair, though. I need to go back and watch all of it. I will say for Breaking Bad, I binged it, and then I had to wait for the 5th season, and that wait was Oh, on my soul. It was so tough. Jesse Pinkman for Alabama head coach. All right, y'all. I will take advantage of these tacos and beer and all that stuff. Big shout out to our top super chatter this evening. Is Black Goatee by a penny? He beat Jared by a penny. Black Goatee takes home the dub. Steve, Paris, and TJ. But special shout out to Jared. He's on a hot streak, man. Jared and TJ back-to-back live streams for super chats. I think Jared is on like a 50 live stream in a row streak. Okay. But kid, we appreciate you. Y'all please go hit the 5-star review on Spotify and iTunes. It would obviously do me some good. I'm trying to grow the Facebook viewership. Obviously, we kill it on YouTube, but I need you guys to go like the Facebook page and share the stream. There's so many viewers on there. I try to get Facebook going. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Yeah, RJ. I'm down to have RJ. I talked to RJ one time. We'll do it one day, Seb. It is Power Out LSU. Boom. And tonight we're doing tacos and hot corn and lime beer. Got to have fruit in the beer, baby.